or MySQL, because these are very important, man. The reason why I'm spending is I really don't want to discuss about this, but so the moment I ask you and you are not aware, so that I want you to be very clear. Okay, there are certain things. Okay, okay, and so there are plenty like Sybase or whatever it is. So when you look into these databases, these are all we call it as RDBMS, right? So RDBMS where it refers to Relational Database Management System. So the relational database system, if you look into the kind of data where we are storing, it is in the form of rows and the columns. As I mentioned, this is an employee table where I can able to see two columns like employee ID and the employee name, where I can see the two rows. The row employee ID is one and the employee name is row. The another row is employee ID two and with the name of Venkat. All the databases like Oracle or MySQL or Sybase or PostgreSQL, these are all structured. These are all the RDBMS databases. So when we talk about RDBMS databases, I can able to store some other graphical or images kind of data also. Can you please tell me what are the graphical data types which are available in the any of the RDBMS databases? Any idea on that? Do you hear anything some like blob
Whatever.
or
Yeah,
cloud,
block, clock. Yeah.
right? So what is the purpose of these data types? So the blob is
Basically, these.
specially designed for if you really want to store any of the graphical representation kind of data. So when you want to store an image or kind of a video files or something like that, or if you really want to store any character related, so we can able to store by using the clock. So do you know the meaning of the abbreviation of this blob and clock? What exactly the blob refers to? Because if you really want to store blob kind of data, sorry, blob is data type. So blob stands for here we can see blob stands for large objects. So as I mentioned, let us say you want to store your video or some image or something. So the moment you have to convert into byte streams those videos or something, you can't store it directly. That kind of facility is not available in the relational database system. So where blob is nothing but the large objects. So any of the streaming of data, if you really want to store it in the database, so you can use these files. Let us say if you want to store 1 gigabyte of image or a video, so we can go for the blob. So and another thing is there is another option called club also. Character large objects. There are certain cases.
Venkat,
Yeah.
Venkat, you can tell me the topics which you want that I should have understanding. I will go through them the whole day, complete day, and tomorrow I will be there with you after all the material.
Yeah, yeah,
Today, can we? Okay.
I have that.
So can we just start the POCs?
Yes, yes, I am. I already holding this POC. That's the reason I opened this one. Do you know what is this? So this is the data set. So we get data sets.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So first, I want you to be very clear the concepts, man. Let me
Okay.
first complete this because as I ask you, right? Just give me. I will get into it. No worries. Okay. That's the reason I opened
Okay, okay.
this one, and there is another.
No, no, no. Basically, I
This
have
is
told you that
this is the
complete
another data
study
set.
part.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, complete. Yeah,
Yes, yes. I will open that also. Okay, contents. You don't worry. Okay. So be patient.
complete study part. I will do it. Yeah.
Right, right. You don't worry. So now this is clear, right?
Because
What is blob and clob? And there are two things which I'm
yeah, yes,
explaining.
very
So
clear.
the blob where we can able to store any of the large object, whether it is a character based or graphical based. Right?
Definitely.
Okay, forgot about this. Because I know, man, your expectations, you don't worry about it. Okay.
Because in the morning I am having limited time also
Yeah,
because in
that's
the
see, first
because
see,
at
we have
7:10.
no, no, no. Wait, Subham. So you have very limited
Yeah,
time, 35 hours. Okay, in 35 hours, I also need to give some information and as well as the POCs and the projects. It's not only this
yeah.
one. Okay, so if you want me to discuss directly, I will discuss this also. But if you are not aware like what is structured, unstructured, or semi-structured, I can't simply proceed. Okay, be patient, you don't worry. Okay, it's my responsibility. So now we discussed about
No, no,
structured
great.
data. Can you tell me what is unstructured data in your case? Like you know, right? What is unstructured data? Can you tell me what is
Uh,
unstructured data? I want
no, I
some
don't
example.
know.
Can you tell me some semi-structured data? So that's the reason, man. You don't worry.
Sam.
So be always very patient, okay? You don't worry. I know what you are expecting. I have all the inputs because that is the reason we spoken almost 4 5 times. Okay?
Yes.
So that's very important. These are very important actually because I'm not giving theory here. This is not the theory. First,
Okay.
when I'm giving this data set, right? So I given data set. So what is the data here and what is this POC? And when you look into this data set, what is this? So how you can able to store it? First of all, when the interviewer asks, can you tell me what is the structured unstructured data? Can you tell me the differences? Can you tell me what is the difference between? So this is very important, right? Uh, did I? Hello, yes, Shubham.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
Okay, and that's the reason.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. Be patient, man. Be patient. Okay, don't worry. That's the reason I started with POC only. I started with data sets. I kept it for you. I opened. This is the data set. Okay, okay. Let me talk about semi-structured and structured. This is three important. So let us say, do you know what is this format? When you are talking about semi-structured, I have employee. I will talk about this is an employee. I have employee ID. I have an employee ID, something like this, and I have employee name, employee name, and I have the end tag for this tag and employee name. So now tell me what is this first of all, which format it is. So this is in the form of an XML. Okay. So now,
XML. Yeah.
right, I want to store this kind of data. Now employee one I can say one and employee name I can say some ROM, right? So now I can see that this is the root element and this is the child elements, right? So this is the XML format. So if I want to store this XML format data directly into employee this RDBMS data, can it be possible? So it's possible, but there are plenty of things we have to do it. We have to convert this into some further formats where we can able to store it, right? So similarly, we have something like JSON. JSON is another format,
Yeah.
JavaScript notation format. This is something like
Yeah.
another kind of approach. The data should be something like this. So this is this is something like
It is in the form of key value pair.
yeah, it's something like a key value pairs as I mentioned, right? So that is another option where we can able to for example of the semi-structured data, whatever it is. So JSON is the another example. I hope you know the format of JSON. I believe so. As you mentioned, like this is
Yeah.
something like it start with employee colon. Again, it will start sub braces with employee ID, something like that. Okay, and at the end it store it, and again it will start with the braces. Again, employee name, something like that. So overall, this is the JSON. So other files is something like we have something like CSV files. We have something like text files. I hope all these things you are aware about it. I believe so. These are all falls under the semi-structured data. Okay, so I, if I really want to store it, and I need to do a lot of groundwork in order to store these things in the normal RDBMS related file. Okay, so now I'm moving for unstructured data. Now this is the time where we need to discuss about. When we talk about unstructured data, can you tell me some example of unstructured data? As you mentioned, you didn't respond it for this question. Let us say you
No,
started.
I tell that I
Yeah.
have not seen.
Okay. So you opened a Facebook and
Yeah.
you just published a video. You publish a video or you publish an image or you publish some audio. Can you tell me, are you going, do you think that these are all structured data or semi-structured data? So these are
No,
all
it's basically it's
falls under the unstructured data only. It is
unstructured.
very, very important. If someone asked about
Yes.
unstructured data, and one more thing is email, your email. So your email, maybe it is looking a structured format or some format. When you are writing an email, when you are writing an email, you can see like subject, and you can see to and from, something like that, and you have all this stuff. But the moment you are trying to store it, this is this is a different kind of formats of files, because audios, videos, emails, all this stuff. So if you want to store it, these kind of things, so this is not possible. These are very huge files and as well as not possible. So this we call it as unstructured data. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
closing
that's fine.
as of this one. Okay, I hope you are clear
Okay.
about this. Okay, now the first question is,
Yeah,
can you
that's
tell me why we want to learn Hadoop? First of all, why we want to learn Hadoop, why we want to go for the big data, what kind of gap we discussed last time, last class? Can you tell me that? I want that from you. I want
yeah,
your from.
yeah. Basically, when we are having a very huge amount of data which can't be stored in RDBMS, as we discussed that for that we need Hadoop for the processing of data. Uh,
No, 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 no. That's not correct. Can you be little deep in it? Let us take graph. This is the graph. This is the data. This is the data, and this is the processing. So x-axis is data, and y-axis. This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. Now tell me, this is your data. So last time we discussed, I clearly explained like what is happening when the data is growing. So can you explain me like why we are going for a Hadoop?
Basically, as the size of the data is increasing, the processing is getting slower and slower, very slower. And if we want the processing to be fast, we use Hadoop.
Okay.
Yeah, this we discussed last time also.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Okay, you got some idea. At least that's good to hear. Okay, that's fine. So let's talk about see, man, this POC. If you look into this POC, so this
Yeah.
is the data. So in the real time, we are the leaders in the supply chain management. We have plenty of sensors. We
Okay.
have plenty of sensors. We are also looking for the environmental issues, and we are the leaders in the different kind of fragments, like supply chain management or retail or the other areas also. So supply chain management products are very popular, worldwide. We have plenty of customers across the globe, and basically we have a lot of sensors in order to identify some of the things related to the supply chain management kind of data. Okay, so that data
Okay.
will be also looking for the environmental issues, like the temperatures or any earthquakes or something like that. These sensors keep on generating some kind of data. Okay, so when you say sensors, right, assume that some system. So we have the systems. So these systems, for every minute, let's take an example for in a web application. As I explained last time, if you take any of the web application in our normal daily life for a Java programmer, So if you look into the logs, generally we will implement, right? We have different kind of status, something like errors is log status, and info, debug, different kind of statuses. The moment application is start running it, right? So there are certain things which we falls under the log error status. There are certain things which we falls under the debug status. There are certain things which we falls under the info status or something like that. So continuously what will happen is, so the moment you start running your application, when the moment you start your web server, so automatically plenty of logs will be generated. So assume that that is the system, web application. So similarly, so this data where we can see the plenty of the turbines. So turbines, you know what is the meaning of turbines?
Yeah, turbine I know.
So what for what purpose they will use it?
Basically, turbines, basically in the dam, when we are generating electricity, we use turbine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is one kind of turbines. So there are plenty of type of turbines, man. There are certain things which we need to, generate for electricity, and there are certain things which we use to for to identify the other any environmental issues, etc. Okay, so you assume that here a system, a turbine is a system, man. Okay, a turbine is a
yeah,
system. Okay, let us take example for your house. Let us say you added a CC camera to your house, because suppose you are not at home, probably you put you started your CC camera to monitor your house. So the moment you started CC camera, what will happen? It's continuously is monitoring your home. The moment it's monitoring your home, then it's continuously is taking the pictures and the videos of your house. Am I correct? So similarly,
that's right.
so whatever the sensors, whatever the turbines we are using for our domains for the supply chain management, so basically it's related to all the worldwide travel management system. All the system they are continuously monitoring. They will use something an equipment called locator. So whether you are aware about whether you are aware or not, I'm not sure. If let us say there are plenty of people, if you buy any bike or any car or whatever it is, they will give a component called locator. So the moment if they give a locator, let us say you may put that car into some business, corporate business. Probably you might hire some driver or someone. So you just hand over that car to the driver. So tomorrow maybe the driver take that car, he went to somewhere else, and he will take your car or something. How can you trace out? So that the locator is a component which you can keep it somewhere in your car, so that wherever the driver will go, you can continuously monitor from your mobile or from your at home, where is this car going, how many places he roamed, like where he stopped. All this information will give you. Okay, so it means that locator is generating some data about your car status, where he is going, which route he is going, where he stopped, which place he is there, etc. So similarly, so another example is cockpit. Have you heard the cockpit in the aeroplanes or helicopters?
Yeah,
So
I've seen that also.
yeah, cockpit is is a voice recording machine. So that mission is what will happen. It will continuously record whatever the communication is happening in the flights. So especially if you can see recently, there are plenty of Malaysian airlines. So it's fell into the one of the biggest Asian sea, right? Bay of Bengal or somewhere.
Yeah,
It fell and it sank. So after that, they try to capture these voice, these cockpit recording voices, as at least, because that will generate a lot of data, but it's continually monitoring and recording. So how much data it's recording? Let us say you travel like 8 hours. It's for 8 hours of data. It's continuously it's recording. So this is a huge amount of data. This is one of the system. So these are all. If you keep on talking, like there are plenty of things. Smart meters or satellites. There are plenty of the things which we keep continuously generating data. Okay, forgot about this. I just given some example for like idea. So let's start with VOC. So this is the system bus. This is the system. So assume that the system name is uh, turbine sensor system. So this turbine system is continuously monitoring these things. and the sensors is continuously generating the logs. Okay,
Yeah.
so these logs will be generated for every minute. For every minute, these will be generating the logs. First point is when the data is generating by a sensor, what you are going to do? First question, can you tell me? And also, I will explain you like what you need to measure, and we have a similar data. So now assume that,
Basically, yeah.
yeah, so this is one system. Assume that this is a system. First of all, data is generating from this system. Okay. So if the data is generating, first of all, what I have to do here, and once I got this data, so what I have to do next, once I got the data, once I processed it, what I have to do next? So now tell me, this is one of the POCs which we are implemented and we are still implementing as well. So we done the first phase.
Okay.
Can you tell me now here? So as I mentioned, we have the TS, turbine sensor is a system where it's generating plenty of log files. Assume that in your case, you
Yes.
have some web application or application server or WebLogic or it's generating plenty of log files. If you see application server, if you
Mhm.
open the logs, you can see plenty of log files, right? For every minute it's generating. So my first question is here. So how can I capture this data? First point, because I don't want to simply blindly put or something. First of all, I need to capture this data. How can I do that? Number point. So you said that you already completed the course, right? I really want your inputs here.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what I'm
Uh,
planning to do is number one. So we are representing turbines as in the form of units.
yes.
Okay, and also sensors we can represent as a tags. So for every unit consists of 70 tags is the requirement. See, if you look into this line, right, so there are two things, one is tag, another one is the unit. So per one unit,
Yeah.
it's a 70 tags. If it is two units, it's a 140 tags.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now tell me. So turbines, the first step is turbines are generating plenty of logs for every minute. The problem statement. So turbine is a system where it's generating plenty of log files. So for every minute, it's generating logs. Number one point, statement one. Statement two is whatever the data which is generating, that we can measure it in the form of units. So per one unit, 70 tax. I take example for in our home man, electricity. For 1 hour, how many units it's generating electricity? Something like that. One moment, man. One moment. Huh? One moment. Yeah, Gupta. Hello. Hey, man. Now tell me, this is one of the case. Did you get any idea or not? Number one point, like there the turbine is one system where it's generating the system. So that whatever the data which is generating, that we can measure it as a unit. For one unit, there are 70 tags. 70 tags for one
Yes.
unit. Okay. Now tell me here. So I am going to send it, so I will give the task also. See, this is the data set. I am going to give this data set, number one. Another one is I am also
Yeah.
giving this task. So another thing is I am going to
Okay.
share, once the class is done, I am going to share environment. One is virtual machine and another one is Cloudera. So tomorrow
Okay.
for the next class, you have to store all this data in the HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. Please store it, because assume that this is system, because we are not able to see the, I am not able to bring the turbine man here. Okay, don't ask
Okay.
me to bring the turbine or whatever it is. Now assume that we have the
Okay.
turbines where it's generating the data. So the data is generated like this. Okay, this is the, as I mentioned, like, different units. If you take, this is an unit. In this unit, see, it will give the time frame and as well as the tags also, and also the prices, not the prices, the units. Like, it will give something like this. So here, so second one, unit 1 3, date and time, tag 1, and another 2, data. So here the first column represents is the unit turbine. So as I mentioned, right, unit underscore one, something like that. Okay. Second column represents the timestamp. Timestamp means, like, per let's say 7 o'clock it generated so and so data, these many units, and etc. Okay. The third column represents the tags. Tags is nothing but the sensor. Okay. For every sensor there should be a mapping with the tags. And the fourth column, the value of the value which was logged by the sensor. And the fifth value is something like a flag variable. So there are 5 columns, man. Okay, let me open here. See,
Yes.
this is the flag, and this is the value, this is the sensor, this is the timestamp, and this is the unit. So that is the data set will be generated continuously, all the logs.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to share this data set to you. So what you have to do is,
Okay.
the moment I share these Cloudera and as well as VM player.
Mm.
Okay, so I will tell you, like, I will send the steps. What you have to do is, are you aware about how to install this VM player and the sensor? Sorry, that Cloudera.
It's already there in my machine.
Oh, it's already there. Cloudera is there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's there.
Okay. So what you have to do is, you can store everything in the HDFS file. Okay, this one.
Okay.
Now, as I mentioned, now our aim is to represent the all 70 tag values of an unit at a particular minute in a single row. For example, see this unit timestamp tag 1, tag 2, tag 3, something like that till tag 70. So as I mentioned, right, for one unit it consists of 70 tags. Okay. So like that, unit underscore 1 on 31st December. So till 70 tags, as I mentioned, 70 tags you have to be, because for every unit it consists of the 70 tags. So that we have to be implemented. Okay, and also we also need to be considered that value of the flag as well. So the value of the flag is this one, the one last one, right? 845 something, right? If it is positive, the log the tag value as it is. If it is a negative, replace the tag the value with the null. So there are two cases. Here some of the things are positive, some of the things are negative. If it is the positive,
Okay.
we can keep it as it is. If it is the negative, you can replace that into null. So once you done all your tasks, like per unit 70 tags, you have to, your data should be something like this. See this. So as I mentioned,
But
so something like this, in the sense you can
but
see
the
the nulls, etc. When you see the null, so whenever the tag value is a negative, the flag value is negative, that point of time you have to replace into null. You should not show the negative. When it is a positive, you have to keep it as it is till 70 tags.
but in the log file there are not 70 tags are not there.
Pardon me?
Uh, the data which you have shown me just now,
Hmm?
it just contains five tags.
Yeah, 70 tags in the sense, man. 70 tags is nothing but the number, man. See, this is the unit one.
Okay, okay, okay,
It's the unit one.
okay,
For unit one, for 70 tags means, you just count it like, see, tag 670 something. There are plenty of data which is generating. For every tag is nothing but the sensor.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay. See this
okay.
until last, if you see, what is the number here?
69. 70 tags are there.
Yeah, that's our logic, right? So once again, I'm explaining the
Okay,
requirement. Number one point is we have the sensor. Sensors will be generating the data. So per one unit, we have to for every unit it has to show 70 tags. So
okay,
we will representing turbine as a unit. Example unit underscore one and sensor as a tag. That is something like tag one. So for every unit, it consists of 70 tags. Okay. Now
okay,
the sample data, as I mentioned, this is the sample sensor data, as I already explained you. I will share this data also completely, okay? There
okay,
are five columns. So first column representing the unit of turbine, and second column representing the timestamp, and third column representing the tag sensor, and the fourth column represents the value which was logged by the sensor, okay? And the fifth column, it represents the flag variable. Okay, flag variable and the value which was logged by the sensor. Did you understand these five columns or any doubt?
yeah,
I'm going to
no,
share.
no doubt.
I'm going to share it. You don't worry. Okay. Anyway, now our aim is to represent the all the 70 tag values of a unit at particular minute. For 1 minute, as I mentioned, for every unit consists of 70 tags. Right. So 70 tag value of a unit at particular minute in a single row. So it is something like this, as I mentioned, right? So unit, timestamp, and tags, tag one, two, three, for 1 minute, for every minute. Okay. So the data example is like this, till 70 tags. So we need to consider the value of flag. So the flag value you have to be keep it very identify. One is if the it is value positive, then keep it as it is. If it is negative, replace it as a null. So this is the actual data once you've done that. So I am sending the unit underscore data of for 70 tags for 1 day. So based on that, you have to calculate it. Okay. I'm going to share this one.
Okay,
So today's for today's one moment. Today topic one thing is data set. I'm going to share it. Okay. And data set POC description. And another one is environment. So we are using an
Venkat, can you erase this paint writing?
this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now it's
So environment send VM player with Cloudera image. You have Cloudera or anything else?
I have Cloudera image. Yeah.
Okay. So these three things. So your task is now you have to keep everything into the dataset HDFS file. So you are already know like what are the commands you have to use HDFS or something. Put or how to send the data to the HDFS. Any idea? Let's
Basically,
say.
using the put command, we do that.
Right. You can use that. Okay, because here we can't use we don't I can't able to bring the sensors here turbines. Okay, so
Yeah.
we have the assume that turbines generated the data. That data we are moving it to the big data Hadoop distributed file system. Place it, and we will discuss like how we need to process that data and all. Okay, and also I'm going to explain one thing here. Uh, that is, so you have uh, what happened? So you have a web application. Assume that your application is UI. This one, presentation. Okay. I have service service layer. I have data layer. Data layer. I have DB.
इसके ऊपर मत करते हैं।
I have DB. So my requirement is, so basically in the UI, let us say a laptop. I'm trying to buy a laptop. So what I will do is I will give you a click and I will order it and I will pay the amount. So the moment you place the order and the moment you pay the amount, everything will be stored into the database. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
So that is the real time. So tell me one thing here. So when you are performing real time, right? Any transactions,
Yeah,
can you tell me what are the acid properties as I already mentioned here? So for any of the real time this kind of issues, so for every transaction is a unit of work where it can apply for the acid properties as I mentioned last time: availability, consistency, isolation, durability, right? So that
yeah,
is for the RDBMS related databases. RDBS database in the
yeah.
Oracle or Sybase or MySQL or whatever it is. Okay. Now tell me here. I want to. So now all the data is here. So my requirement is, this is another example, another POC I'm going to give, man. So this
Okay,
my first task is, whatever the data I have in the database, I want to move that data into the any of the big data systems. Any of the, you can use HBase or you can use big data. Any of the NoSQL databases, you can use HBase.
yeah,
You can use HBase,
yeah,
and you can use MongoDB,
yeah.
or you can use
Cassandra.
Cassandra, anything. So whatever
Yeah,
I don't bother, or you can use any of the cloud DynamoDB also. Okay.
okay,
So use it. What your requirement is, move all the data to big data, Hadoop distributed file system. Then you can move to NoSQL databases. So once you move to this, what you have to do is, I want to do some analytics on top of it.
okay.
Basically, if you look into the ETL developers, right, what they will do is, so basically they will apply the ETL tools on top of the existing data. They will extract the data,
Yeah,
transform it, they will load it, and from there they will generate the reports. So, but my case is,
yeah.
I don't want to do anything analytical reports or generating reports or do analysis or whatever it is. I don't do directly here because my data is growing day by day. I don't want to do here. I
Yeah.
want to do something on the any of the big data systems. Just move this data here, then integrate to any of the ecosystems like Hive or Pig or whatever it is. So once you integrate it,
Yeah.
then I will give you what I want. Generate some reports, simple reports. Like a customer is
Okay.
for 1 year, some X customer is buying two products, or another customer is buying four products. I want a customer who is buying more than five products per year. I want the report. So once you generate
Okay.
that report, I want to see in the form of graphical representation, like visualization. You can use some bar charts or pie charts or whatever it is. For that, you can use Tableau. Okay, this is end to end. So what you are doing is step one. Your data is in Oracle database. Now you are moving that data into NoSQL databases. Once you move to the NoSQL databases, you are integrating with any of the ecosystems of Hadoop, something like Hive or Pig or whatever it is. Once you've done it, then you integrated using any of the Tableau UI visualization techniques and display in the form of you know let's say, take customer is one side and their products is one side. You can show like pictorial graph, something like this. Okay.
Okay.
So this is
Okay.
another requirement. This is general requirement, but this is very important. You are covering many things here. You first point is, you are
Yes.
moving to big data. Again, you are integrating the Hive, and from there you are performing all the analytics You are generating the reports, and as well as you are generating the visualization techniques by integrating with the Tableau.
Yes.
Okay, these are all real time only. The moment you start doing all this stuff, then you don't think about all in the real time and all. Okay, so this is
Yeah.
another area.
Uh,
Yeah, tell
Venkat,
me.
I am having one query in the first POC.
Yes, tell me.
Can you show that show the data file
Yeah, yeah,
after removing this paint?
yeah.
Yeah. Basically, your requirement is that we need to get the 70 records uh, in a single row.
Yes.
So,
Till seven, no, no, till
what will
seven.
be?
See, simple man. No, no, wait. I don't answer your question number one point here. So first, I will share
Okay.
the data because it has input and it has output. Everything is there. What kind of data you are
Yeah,
finally?
I'm not getting.
No, no, that's the
Can
reason.
you?
No, no, you will get it. You will get it. First, what I'm trying to
No,
say.
no, no.
Wait, 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 wait.
1 minute. Listen to my query also.
Yeah. See, first, my
Um,
question is, see, one thing, Gupta, you didn't go through the data set first of all so far. Number one point.
yeah,
Go through the data set one time, okay? Then read that problem
yeah,
statement PTFC, then you will understand. Trust me.
yeah.
You do that, come back because it's an easy one. You do the
Then-
you gone through all the data set, understand like what is this unit, like how many tags are generating, so that you will get an idea. And one more thing is here, I clearly mentioned that my data should be like this. My data should be like this. If you look into the examples also I mentioned here. So first my question is, you go through the data set. Until you go through the data set, you don't get it because it's there all input and output. Okay, if you are entering this input, I want this kind of data. So go through it, and you will get an idea. Then we will try first dump it into the distributed file system, and we will apply on top of it the techniques, whatever it is.
no,
Okay?
Venkat, 1 minute.
Yeah, go.
1 minute, Venkat. Listen to my question also. Your final data may look like this. So first column is the unit name. Second column is the date and time. Third column is the negative value which you told me should be
No, no,
null.
no, 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 no. Not third column is the sensor tag.
Yeah,
See,
tag.
wait,
Sorry,
wait,
sorry,
wait.
sorry.
First one is
Yeah,
unit, and second one is
yeah,
timestamp. Okay, and the
yeah,
third one is the tag. Tag is
yeah.
nothing but, as I mentioned, is a sensor where we are representing the sensor. For one unit, it contains
Definitely.
70 tags. And the third one
Yeah,
is the fourth column is representing the value which was logged by the
yeah,
sensor. Because the moment
yeah,
sensor is logged, then it is representing the value of the sensor. And the fifth
yeah.
column is the flag variable. This flag variable may be
Okay.
positive or negative. If it is a positive, keep it as it is. If it is a negative, keep it as replace
Keep
it
it
as a
null.
null. Keep it replace
Yeah.
it as a null. So, but if you look into here,
Okay.
if you look into here, the data should be something like this, right? Let's move to this one.
Yeah, now it's clear. Yeah, it's
Okay, yeah,
clear
yeah,
now.
yeah, that is the reason. Go through the because everything is here, man. Because I am sharing this. That
Yeah,
is the reason. Go through it. Okay, go through it so that you will understand. So,
yeah,
okay, there are two things which we discussed today. One is this POC, and another one is
yeah.
I want bring you have Oracle database in your machine.
Oracle database machine. I
Oracle
will
or
install
MySQL,
it today.
Oracle or MySQL, anything.
My
So
MySQL is there, but Oracle is not there.
yeah, first why I am asking is whatever the data which is there in the Oracle database or MySQL or whatever it is. So assume that that data is your web application data. So what one thing we are going to do is there is a scoop is ecosystem. We will use that scoop, move that data to the Hadoop distributed file system. First task, that is first task. Once you move the data to the distributed file system, okay, we can from there you can store it into the any of the NoSQL database system. That is the second task. Third task is
Yeah.
once you move to any of the NoSQL database system, on top of it, we will integrate it to any of the ecosystems like Hive or Peak. Once you integrate it with the Hive or Peak, third, fourth one is we will generate the reports. We will apply the analytics. Okay. The fifth one is we can use the Tableau to represent in the form of graphical way, like pie charts or bar charts or something like that. So that is another one.
Uh,
That is really covered plenty of the things. I want you to
yeah.
install Oracle. Okay. Yeah. Tell me,
Yeah.
like, do you have any doubts so far?
No, no. Basically, first POC is clear. Second POC is also clear that we need to move the data from SGFS
No, no,
to NoSQL
you don't
database.
you don't worry. I will send each and every step on that. Okay. Okay, I will
Yeah,
send you
yeah,
what you have to do. First one is like, first install this Oracle, keep the data and move the data
yeah,
to
yeah,
the big data.
yeah,
Once you move to the distributed files and move to the NoSQL database, once you move to the NoSQL database, integrate with the Hive or Pig. It's up to you which one you want. And once you done it and you integrate with the Tableau, there are two things we have to do there. One is to represent in the graphical way, pie chart or bar chart or anything, visualization technique.
yeah.
Okay. Another one is
Yes.
generate the reports. Reports means like, like customer. Let us say for 2017, uh, I want to see the list of customers who bought the more than five products. So I want the reports, something like that. Okay. So those will cover all the things. That is one area.
Yes.
Okay. The next
Yeah.
one, I will explain what we have to do next one. These two are we will start first.
So for today, first two are fine. So because I have some because we need to go. I need to go to the office also. So for today, first and second POCs are fine. So that I will complete it.
Yeah, you don't want to complete it. Just follow my instructions. Then we will.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, just I will give you one by one. Okay, you
Okay.
don't worry. See,
Yeah, yeah, that's
so
it.
if tomorrow if someone asks, can you tell me how can you get the data? So you should be in a position. First of all, you have to ask a question. Hey man, can you tell me what kind of data is? Is it structured or semi-structured, unstructured? You should be in a position to
Yeah,
ask that question. So if someone says the data, okay, I will get the data, I will put in dump, I will put into the distributed file system. No, you have to ask the data first
definitely
of
I
all.
will.
Because here, what you need to understand is the moment any customer you are interacting, yes, I have the data, I have the X system, it's generating the data. The first question you ask, can you tell me what kind of data? Is it a structured data or is it a semi-structured? Is it in the form of JSON or is it in the form of XML or is it generating any unstructured kind of data, audios, videos, or something? You have to ask those guys. So the moment you are asking
Yeah.
that question, next one, so okay, your system is generating, that's fine. So what I have to do? Okay. So you will tell the problem statement. So once you tell the problem statement, you should be in a position to tell that yes, your system is generating data. First of all, I need to get the data. I need to put it into my distributed file system. Once I will put into it, I need to capture the data. I need to process it. So to process, can you tell me some of the techniques? Then you will give the answers like, I can apply map reducing, I can apply Storm, I can apply Spark, whatever it is you mentioned. You can apply that techniques. So when you will get this much confident, so you should be understand all this whatever I mentioned so far. Okay, that kind of even tomorrow any interviewer asks, yeah, they will mention all the. You should be in a position to answer all these questions. Yeah, Subham, tell
Yes.
me like I'm going to wind up the session today. Yeah, tell me like if you have any doubt.
Yeah. No, sir, no doubt. But one thing, when we will do things on the live environment, like installing AWS, and that we will include in further topics or not?
Yes, man. One moment. Let me show you that also. Wait one moment, because AWS I developed. That is one thing you are expecting, right? Yeah, this one. See this. Did you see? Are you able to see?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the project I done it. So basically this project is, let me maximize this screen. Yeah. Okay. So this is the project. I use the Spark cluster on the Amazon AWS AC2. So it will read and writing S3 data, predicting the flight delays with Spark. Okay. So these are the steps. We have to create the Amazon S3 simple storage service. Okay. And we have the data that data we have to load it on the Spark cluster. EC2 instance we have to create it. And once you launch the cluster and you have to restart it and you have to apply these HDFS on the top of the cluster. Okay, I will explain you because no worries. I have the project. This is a real-time project. See this. Okay. I have step by step. See this. Amazon S3 bucket
Yeah.
on the data. Okay, loading the data and the Spark cluster on the EC2. So the this is the Spark kind of things where we have to create all these the raw DDs or etc. So once you done it, you can restart the cluster and kill the cluster and you can apply in the HDFS and the cluster. So this is another thing. Okay, don't
Yeah.
worry, man. I will see whatever I promised. I will give you more than that.
Okay. 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 Okay,
So
Venkat.
my
Thanks.
first
Thanks a
question
lot.
is the first question is tell me very openly, man. Are you so far? We spend almost 3 hours so far. Yesterday's last class and this class. Now tell me,
Yeah.
are you happy or not? Because I know that your case is a different case. You need more interaction. You want more real time. How to apply all this stuff.
Yes.
Basically, if
You are
someone is in
basically.
someone is in your place. To be frank, I should not take this one. The reason is because it's a time consuming process for one candidate. But the only thing is I realize that certain things, in order to proceed with you. So the reason is, I am because you have to understand certain points actually. That is the reason I taken an initiative. First of all, I want to make him to understand, certain key things in the real time, so that I will also get some rather than
Got
confidence, I mean satisfaction.
a teacher like you, sir.
Yeah, satisfaction. Okay. Okay, I'm going to send a email, buddy, and all these things,
Yeah,
and whatever I discussed, you
that's
don't
right, sir.
worry. Okay.
Okay,
So yeah, so far, let me know if you have any doubts. Now itself,
okay,
tell me. And again,
okay.
once you tomorrow, don't blame me, man. Yeah, tell me.
No, no, no. Today, uh, basically, as of now, I am having no doubt. But one thing that we can fix the time from 6 to 7.
Yes, you don't worry about that because
Yeah, yeah,
you don't worry. And one more thing. So 6 to 7, I will give you Saturday,
yeah.
sorry, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days continuously. Are you okay for that?
Friday, Saturday,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week, 1.5 hour.
from 6 to 7:30.
Yes. Are you okay?
And the rest of this days, the class will be not there.
Yes, that's how we need to follow, right? Because weekdays, or else we'll do one thing. Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days.
yeah. That's fine.
Okay, because remaining days, because there are other commitments, man. There are other students are coming, right? So,
Yeah, I understand that.
okay.
Yeah.
So, are you tell me now
So,
openly now? Are you happy or I really need your feedback,
no,
man?
no, I'm happy. I'm very happy. So, today I will wait for an email and will start working on the project.
Sure, sure, sure. I will send you all the details. Okay, you don't worry. Okay, by end of today, you will get everything. Okay,
So the next class will be on Friday.
which one?
No, no, the next we will be meeting on Friday.
Right, right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.